One, two. Check, 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 check.
Welcome to Lexington High School for this round of 16 matchup between the Lexington Minutemen and the Quincy Presidents. So the Minutemen are coming off a pretty resounding win on last week against Acton-Boxborough, where it was pretty tightly contested through the first 3 quarters, and then the script completely flipped when we got to the final 8 minutes. The Minutemen began the 4th quarter with a 7-point lead, and then they just absolutely exploded offensively. They walked out of there with a 19-point win, despite the heroic performance from Acton-Boxborough's Shannon Patrick, putting up 35 points and 18 rebounds. So tonight, the Minutemen play host to Quincy, who are a significantly more challenging opponent. They are 17-3 on the year compared to 16-4 for the Minutemen. So let's talk about what the Minutemen need to do to get the job done here tonight. I'm Austin Raish, and I'm joined by Duncan Maloney and Toshio Yuki. Gentlemen, take it away.
Well, first, Duncan, let's get into the records for both teams. What do you have to say about the 8th seed Lexington and the 9th seed Andover here tonight?
Well, both of these teams are absolutely incredible. Doesn't matter home or away. And you can tell that by the records. 7-2 for Quincy on the road this year versus 8-1 at home for Lexington. It is even square. So both of these teams are going to play really tough tonight, and it's going to be challenging to see, at least coming into this matchup, who's going to pull away right ahead, because none of them are really at a disadvantage at this moment.
100%, Duncan. And so physically, both teams are evenly matched. They've got some height. They've got some guards that can score. And so for Lexington, one of the key points for them to win this game tonight is starting off strong on offense and utilizing their depth. Like you mentioned, Austin, last game, Acton-Boxborough relied on one single player, but Lexington had 3 players that scored 18 points. And so in that, if one player can't get things to go, Lexington can rely on other teammates to help pick it up on offense.
So, Toshio, speaking of one player carrying the load for the team, that was the story for Acton-Boxborough in their last game. Shannon Patrick led the way throughout almost the entire game. Like we said, 35 points and 18 rebounds was her stat line. However, 31 of those points came in the first 3 quarters, which was the problem for Acton-Boxborough, because in the 4th quarter, when it mattered the most, they couldn't pick things up. Patrick only had 4 points. The rest of the team could not respond. For Quincy, that's not necessarily the case. They have Alyssa Hops on their team, who is the back-to-back champion of her league's division. And in Quincy's last game, which was a win against Hopkinton at home for them, she put up 22 points and 7 blocks, leading the way for her team. And you might think that if the Minutemen can get to Hops, they'll be able to shut this whole Quincy team down, but that's not really the case, because Quincy has multiple All-Stars on this team. One of them is their center, Neve Gandrin, who put up 15 points and 10 rebounds in their win against Hopkinton. So what do we think needs to be done tonight for the Minutemen to slow this entire Quincy offense, not just Hops?
Well, you mentioned it. You need to slow this game down. You talk about the pace, and for Lexington, it's interesting because we've seen them multiple times this year playing the fast pace versus the slow pace. I think tonight they're going to want to play more the slow pace. Well, it does kind of slow down the game, and it allows less time if you're down to come back. If you're playing a fast game, it's going to create more mistakes, and it's going to allow Quincy to get a larger lead than if you're playing a slower game. As for shutting down star players, I think Lexington has done that time and time again this year. This is a taller task at the moment, but I think they're up to it, and I think the bench is going to really show up tonight and make a strong performance.
And speaking of the bench, I think the energy coming off the bench, but not only the bench, also the home gym here, that's going to be the big difference between these evenly matched up teams of Lexington and Quincy. Lexington's got a home court advantage. You can see the student section here, their blackout theme, and Andover's got some of their students in here tonight, but the atmosphere in this gym is going to be unmatched, Duncan. It's going to be unmatched.
100%. They bust in people today all the way from Quincy, so it's going to be an electric matchup. In pregame, I could barely hear myself think, so it's going to be an electric matchup all throughout the game.
Yeah, we know that the student section for Lexington, they've been known to rise to the occasion, especially this year, when they're presented with another student section and another crowd that wants to get into it. So I think we're all excited to see what they have in store tonight. Now, back to the game for a moment. Quincy has 17 wins on the year, and that does sound like a pretty impressive total, but 0 of those wins have come against teams that have made the Division I tournament this year for teams in Massachusetts. So that is a bit of a good sign for Lexington. who have won, of their 16 regular season wins, 3 of them came against teams that did make the tournament. As for Quincy, they played 2 teams this year who did make the tournament, and they lost to both of them. Those teams were number 7 Weymouth and number 30 Plymouth. In the game against Weymouth, they lost by 26, which again is a positive thing to think about for the Minutemen, but again, that was in the regular season. This is a whole new atmosphere. This is a whole new environment for everybody. And this is really where we're going to find out what these teams have in them and who wants it more.
1,000%, Austin. I think part of that problem for Quincy is going to be scoring points. And many of those wins, they didn't put up a ton of points. And even in their last playoff win against Hopkinton, they only scored 55 points in their 55-36 win. Lexington, in their last playoff win, they scored 74 points. That is unbelievable. So I think Lexington's going to have a little bit of an advantage in that department. They have shown up before. But when you come into a playoff game like this, the pressure, everything that's in this gym right now, all of that is wiped out. It is just 2 teams playing basketball.
Absolutely, Duncan. And I'm just checking the date, but it looks like it's March. It's upset season. Anything could happen tonight, and both teams will have to bring their A-plus game in order to move on to the Elite 8.
1,000% Toshio, and this is an MIA matchup for the ages. 2 top 10 teams in the playoffs in the Ralphie Lord Gymnasium. It's going to get crazy in here. We don't know what's going to happen. Anything could, Austin.
Again, game starts in just a few minutes from now. As we get ready for that, we'll send it over to Naomi in a few minutes. Once again, the round of 16 begins here tonight on LexMedia. Lexington hosts Quincy. I'm Austin Raish, and I'm joined by Duncan Maloney and Toshio Yuki. We're excited for it, and we hope to see you soon.
were playing in the game. The Watertown Athletic Training Staff, Athletic Administration, and the other Good Samaritans, fans, and officials that were in attendance at Friday's game. Finally, I would ask you all to please stand for a moment of silence to remember longtime official Don McGillicuddy. Please keep Don's daughter Erica, son Wayne, fiance Nancy, his granddaughter, and all of our officials in Ward 95 in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Thank you. And now, the
Lexington High School, and we would like to welcome you all to the round of 16 tonight. The 8th-ranked Minutemen will play host to the number 9-ranked Quincy Presidents.
It become very apparent that this is where you want to be on this Monday night. The energy in this building right now is almost indescribable. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. I'm not even sure what else you can say about it. I mean, these two student sections have been going at it for the past half hour before the game even started. So this is sure to be a good one here on LexMedia. I'm Austin Raish, and I'm joined by Duncan Maloney and Toshio Yuki.
Austin, what a great game we have here tonight. It's going to be a close one. We're going to see how they go off the jump, see if it's going to be a quicker game. We're going to keep it slow off the start, but a lot of basketball to be played here tonight, a lot of quality basketball at that.
Without a doubt, Duncan. And one thing you can't deny is the energy in this gym from both sides. It's going to be a thriller.
This is Frankie Diaz off the tip. Wide open at the top of the arc. Hops cannot hit the three. And that'll get the Lexington crowd into it.
That's one way to start a game on the defensive end, getting an early stop, and now they have a chance to keep the momentum rolling.
You need to have that defense be stronger because that was a wide open three. Most times that's going to go in, so you can't let that happen too much.
Wozniak left open, can't hit from deep. Rebound tip taken by Quincy. Taylor Wozniak had an incredible game in last week's win against Acton Boxborough. She had 18 points, which was tied for the team's lead, and she has now worked her way back into the starting lineup for tonight. Diaz will try a three. That's no good. Rebound taken by Gendron. It's knocked away by Doyle.
What a block by Doyle. Great heads-up play. Now she's taking control on offense here.
Doyle driving down, can't get the layup to fall. Rebound taken by Rory Kennedy.
Both of these teams are doing a great job of not letting either team get into the paint. They're not letting them get close opportunities. That's why I've seen two bad threes here from Quincy early on.
Both teams are playing with the fast start. Duncan, you mentioned tempo early on. Now we got a jump ball Lexington possession.
That was
big jump right there.
That was Taylor Menn who got caught up with Fortier. I think one side was looking for a foul, the other side was looking for a jump ball, and Lexington ended up winning the battle.
Now let's see if Lexington will slow things down on the offensive end. Move the ball a little bit.
Crenity from way beyond the arc, can't hit.
That would have been electric if that went in.
Still no points as we are about 90 seconds through the start of the game.
I wouldn't call it a slow-paced game. I just think all the opportunities that have been had just haven't been the most quality opportunities, and that's why we're still at zero, just about a minute and a half in.
Kennedy off the screen. We're going to get a whistle and a travel called. Once again, Quincy thought they had a foul. Instead, they will turn the ball over.
It's a big travel right there. That's two possessions in a row for Quincy where they have been starting to get something going, but they can't do it. In a quick sub right here. Alyssa Jacob checking right in for Gloria Doyle.
And Austin, last game here on Thursday night, both teams had a slow start. It was Lexington only scored 9 points in the first quarter, I believe, and the other team, Acton Boxborough, scored 12. And so we're seeing something similar, slow starts from both teams offensively.
Hamilton off the baseline, throws it away.
I believe Gloria Doyle got a little whack in the face. She's getting treated to on the bench. That is why she was checked out of the game so early. Not what Lexington wanted, but what they have to adapt to.
But with that, Alyssa Jacob has a lot of experience as a senior captain, and she will bring that to the table.
Hops in the paint, gets it to go for the first points of the game. Alyssa Hops is the two-time reigning MVP of her division in Quincy's league. There is a lot you can say about her, and we're expecting big things from her tonight. She had 22 points and 7 blocks in the last game, going 6 for 6 from the free throw line in Quincy's win against Hopkinton. So she should be set up for another big game tonight as Crenity gets inside and will go to the line.
Good call there.
And that's one foul early on for Hops. Last game, Shannon Patrick had 2 fouls. She was in foul trouble early in the game, and they decided to keep her in the game. She fortunately did not foul out for Acton Boxborough, but if Hops gets in foul trouble early on, this may not be good for Quincy.
Quincy not thrilled with the call from the official there. Little I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref chant going on in the stands. Both of these student sections alive early in the game.
Crenity goes 0 for 2. Ball is tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay with Lexington.
That's a big one there for Lexington. Fresh shot clock, 5:32. You're going to be in the offensive zone. Big opportunity to get some points here if you're the Minutemen.
Jacob gets it into Crinity on the wing as she fakes, pulls from the baseline. Can't hit. Rebound taken by Diaz.
Just a bad bounce there. Tough breaks for Lexington and Quincy really early in this game, but Lexington still with a goose egg on the board.
Once they break the tension in the ice in this game, though,
floodgates going to open.
Kennedy left wide open at the top of the key, and she cashes in.
Duncan, what were you saying? The floodgates are starting to storm open.
Lexington needs to get back in this game. They need to get points quick. 3 minutes in, no points. That's not something you want to see early in a playoff game.
But quick does not equate to irrational.
Three
from Hamilton.
How about it? There we go. Here it comes, Toshio. Here
It's a
come
call-in
the points.
response. Call-in response.
Need some solid defense here, Austin.
Gloria Doyle's back up to check in after taking that shot to the face. So we'll get her in. They'll get her in whenever they can.
Believe they'll check out Jacob, but that remains to be seen.
They get it inside the hop. She has a bit of a mismatch on Fortier. She nearly loses
job
it.
by Fortier.
Crinity almost came away with it. And now Diaz is going to get a foul called. That's Jacob who picks it up. That's the first of the quarter committed by the Minutemen. Doyle will come in and replace Wozniak, leaving Jacob out there.
Like keeping Jacob in this game. She's done a good job defensively so far, just by picking up that foul there. Like keeping her in this game. And
dangerous pass is broken up by Fortier, taken away by Crinity. Crinity finds Fortier at the top, who gives it right back. Her three-pointer is up and short. Offensive rebound by Doyle is knocked out. Hamilton comes away with it. The Minutemen will reset. Fortier wide open in the corner, can't hit. Offensive rebound again by Doyle.
Lex needs to calm down here. Try and work into the paint. Three-pointers aren't going right now.
Crinity gets inside but can't hit the layup. She's still looking for her first points of the game.
Both these teams a little slow in the point getting out the gate.
Kennedy can't hit the three. Hamilton with the rebound. Lexington not slowing it up here. Jacob down on the other end, kicks it, and just too high for Fortier.
The playoff atmosphere is getting to both teams. We've been over halfway into this first quarter, and it's only 3-5.
I'm going to be honest, if I'm either of these coaches, I want to take a timeout within the next 30 seconds. We just need a reset, calm down, take a deep breath, because we're more than halfway through this first quarter, and it's only 5-3 right now, not what we expected.
Here's another steal. That one was once again caused by Fortier. Crinity finds Jacob, who thought about the three. Instead, she'll lose it inside. It's going to stay with the Minutemen with 3.5 to play in the first, and a score of only 5-3 here as Taylor Wozniak will come back in, replacing Hamilton.
Solly keeping it up with the quick substitutions. See if that's going to work to his benefit.
They get to inbound this quickly.
Yes, that was very close to being a violation there.
Doyle finds Fortier, defended by Hops, as she gives it right back. Doyle looking for some space and gets the friendly roll.
All even at 5 now.
Great drive there from Doyle. Pump fake, getting Haas in the air.
Long pass there.
Gendron's pass is broken up. Yet another steal for Fortier.
She is on fire right now defensively.
Crinity finds Wozniak wide open.
Three.
And it goes!
In.
How about that, Austin? That is just calm, cool, and collected. Lexington 8-5 now, the lead. They're working right now. Quincy needs to come up with a response, and quickly. You don't want to fall behind in this game.
Hops had it nearly poked away from her. Now she'll get it to Diaz, defended by Jacob. 15 to shoot for Quincy as Kennedy nearly lost it.
They're running out of time here. They're not really setting anything up right now.
Inside, they get it to Gendron, and she can't get it to go over Doyle.
That would have been an impressive make right there. Fortunately, did not have enough roll on it.
Crinity drives, finds Fortier on the baseline, who gets inside and gets two.
Great job by Fortier. Thought about pulling up for a rather difficult three. Instead, takes it inside, picks up a 5-point lead.
And the aggressiveness there, just driving in straight on Hops, getting her body in front of her.
Hops gets inside, can't hit. Rebound by Wozniak. Crinity thought about the three. Now she'll have to pass it. It's Doyle at the top of the key. 1:45 left to play in the first as Fortier slows things down. Jacob gets inside on the baseline, comes up short, rebounded by Gendron.
Not a bad idea there for Jacob. Now Quincy needs to get some points.
Need to slow things down here, especially the last few possessions. They've had few turnovers, few opportunities they've rushed and couldn't capitalize on.
Faith Kim and Hamilton looking to check in for Lexington at the nearest possibility.
That pass is broken up by Doyle. It's on the ground. There's a fight. A jump ball will be called. Possession Quincy with 1:21 to play in the first.
And here come the subs, Kim. Fortier and Jacob gonna check out. Fortier getting some much needed rest. She's been a defensive force early on. Solly knows he's gonna need her later in this game.
Diaz will inbound, 16 seconds to shoot with 1:21
Long
to play.
pass inbound there.
It's into Hops, defended by Hamilton. Hops tries to find space. The floater is no good.
Quincy can just not make themselves room right now, and it's really affecting them. They haven't had points in a few minutes.
You got to credit Lexington's defense here. They've been putting so much pressure on the paint.
We're going to get a foul against Quincy here. It's going to be against Rory Kennedy.
Quincy fouls on number 21.
Early on, it's been a pretty clean game, Duncan, besides the turnovers. 2 fouls apiece.
Checking in for Quincy, number 25.
100% now. Gonna get a sub in. Lillian Catabone coming into the game.
Graniti still looking to get on the board as she pulls up. Can't hit from deep. Rebounded by Taylor Mann with 50 seconds to play in the first.
Quincy needs points here. Don't want to rush it, but you kind of need them quick.
Well, and right as you say that, Duncan, another unforced turnover for the Presidents.
I was thinking maybe a timeout from Quincy and change up the game plan, because every time they've turned the ball over, there's been a pattern of forcing it inside the paint to either Haps or Gendron, and maybe they need to look from the outside. They made a three-pointer earlier this quarter. Maybe why not continue that?
Graniti checking out of the game here with just about 40-something seconds left in the first quarter.
Doyle looking for space inside, and she will head to the line.
You can see Quincy's coaches pleading on the sideline for them to slow the game down. And even if you slow it down, it feels like they're just not playing the basketball that they want to play right now. And Lexington, they're kind of being forced to play Lexington's game. And that's not something you want to do. So they're going to want to get these last 30 seconds out and then really talk at that quarter break. Try and get something changed, and changed quickly. They don't want to fall too far behind in this game. And the Quincy student section has been rather silenced here.
And the Lexington student section has taken note of that. Doyle goes 1 for 2. Rebound taken by Quincy. Shot clock is turned off here. The Minutemen lead it by 6.
Now Mann slows things down, maybe hold the ball for the final shot, prevent Lexington from getting one more opportunity to end the quarter.
It's good strategy here. Just don't want to take a bad shot if you're Quincy.
This is Hops. She drives in on Hamilton. Looking for
bad
anything
shot.
to get space. It doesn't go. Doyle with
Getting
the
a foul.
rebound, and she's fouled. 8.6 on the clock. That will not put Lexington into the bonus.
But going back to that last play, what a move by Hobbs. Got him in the air, just could not finish that. And those are the type of points you have to capitalize.
It was a decent move, but you could tell when she was going up, she was like not enough, and it was just, you could tell it was shaky coming out. And then 25 just took a hack. Just a hack.
Here's Jacob with 3. She steps back, fires, and comes up short. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. So, not a lot of offense. It was mostly a defensive battle throughout the first 8 minutes. But in the end, the Minutemen are playing the game they want to play. You can certainly not say the same for Quincy as they trail the Minutemen by 6 going into the second quarter.
100%. And Austin, it's not the game that Quincy, as I mentioned, it's not the game Quincy wants to play right now. They only have 5 points through 8 minutes. That is in a playoff game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's terrible. That's a terrible first quarter. And Lexington didn't have a great first quarter either, so Quincy's lucky to still be in this game by 2 possessions. So both of these teams need to take a deep breath. I think both of them are going to want to slow the game down because they both want to get more points. But both of these teams have had trouble, so I'm not sure if it's the pressure or what it is, but both of these teams need to work on a lot getting into this second quarter.
And Austin, in the pregame, for those who missed that before the game started, we mentioned that one of the key points for Lexington is to utilize their depth, and so far they've been doing that. Stella Trinity had 18 points last game, but has yet to score once this game, and she has taken numerous amount of shots. And so Lexington, they've stepped it up for many players. Gloria Doyle with 3 points, same with Hamilton, Wozniak with 3, Fortier with 2. And so if they keep this up, keep utilizing their players, then they're looking good as long as they keep the points going, keep stopping Quincy on defense.
And Crinity was taken out with about 43 seconds left in that first quarter. Just to cool off before the second quarter started, she is back in. She looks ready to go. We'll see if that is the case here with 8 minutes left in the half.
Lexington begins the second quarter with possession. They have 4 starters out there as Hamilton gets it started with a 3. Lexington leads by 9.
That's her second 3 of the game, and just like that, she gets Lexington's crowd going again.
And Quincy can't panic here. They still need points.
Man, gets space, gets inside but can't finish. Rebounded by Hobbs, had it nearly taken away. She can't finish. Another offensive rebound and another chance, and she'll get to the line.
Quincy, that's 3 missed shots. Quincy is still not playing good basketball right now.
They're playing like they need a score within 5 seconds, or they're like the shot clock is going off right away, but they have to know they have time.
It appears from the untrained eye that they're not really setting anything up when they enter the zone. They're just kind of like moving around, seeing what they can get. Brutal. When you get in the free throw line, you're missing like this in a big game, you need to make it. And I understand that there's increased pressure, but you still need to make these free points, and that's a brutal miss right there for Quincy.
Hobbs goes 0 for 2. Rebound taken by Jacob.
You can see the frustration starting to build on the Quincy side. Lexington needs to continue to take advantage of this. They have a 9-point lead. They want to extend that in the double digits rather quickly.
Crinity wants a 3 and gets it.
There she is.
Stella Crinity gets on the board, and the Minutemen have a 12-point lead.
Duncan, the bank's open because Lexington is cashing out right now.
See what Quincy can build on here. Just need to slowly get back in this game. Don't let the outside noise pressure. It feels like that's really what's happening here. That outside noise is pressuring them.
Hobbs fires from deep, can't hit.
Good rebound.
Gendron gets the rebound, kicks it out.
You don't need to take that deep of a
Kennedy
three.
misses.
Why would you do that?
Gendron gets another rebound. She finds Kennedy again. Back to Hobbs, good fake inside, and a good finish, and a much-needed bucket for Quincy.
Quincy is just falling to the pressure right now. They're not taking good shots. It's telling that they haven't played in a game of this magnitude all season.
And with that, they broke a 6-minute scoring drought.
That's big for them. They need to step up defensively and stop Lexington before this game gets out of hand.
What a feed to Doyle as she gives it to Fortier, who gets inside and lays
That
it
is
home.
beautiful basketball, Duncan. Backdoor cut, finding an open player, and then she drives in for the easy 2. This is Lexington basketball at its finest.
Diaz kicks it to Mann as she floats it up, leaves it short, but fights for her own rebound. We're going to get a jump possession, Quincy.
Now Taylor Wozniak will check in for Lexington, and Alyssa Jacob will take a break.
Definitely seeing that quick subs going on right now. 19-7 the Lexington lead. Fresh shot clock here for Quincy. They're down by 12.
Mann fakes, fires from just beyond the free throw line and misses. Crinity all alone for the rebound.
Everything's just coming out shaky for Quincy. You can tell the nerves are getting to him in this first half.
Fortier thought about the 3, instead she'll drive and kick it to Wozniak, who finds Crinity in the corner. 15 to shoot for Gloria Doyle. As she tries to get it inside to Hamilton, it's going to stay with Lexington here.
They're going to have 12 seconds, so not a ton of time. They're going to need to set something up rather quickly if they want to get points off this possession.
It's into Fortier with 10 to shoot. Crinity works her way on the baseline, but can't get the layup to go.
Looked like the ball might have slipped out of her hand. She didn't get a good touch on that.
A little too quick there, and now Quincy's going to have a chance to cut into this lead.
Hobbs drives inside on Fortier, underhanded layup, misses. There's a fight, and a foul is going to be called against Sam Fortier with 5:01 to play in the first half.
She's played tough defense all day. That's her first foul, though, so not too much trouble there. Now, Lottie Ash coming into the game for Fortier. Lottie Ash has been an excellent player off the bench all season for Lexington. I'm excited to see what she can do here with 5 minutes left in the second quarter.
They get it inside to Hobbs.
It's going to be a foul.
She'll head to the line for the second time tonight after going 0 for 2 earlier.
I believe that's going to be Wozniak. Had a little bit of a shove there. This is not guaranteed points, though. Lexington student section has made sure of that.
0 for 3. For 4.
Oh, this is not the kind of performance you're looking for from your MVP.
You're just leaving 3 points on the table.
Hamilton gives Wozniak a screen, as she'll give one to Doyle, who gets inside
Wow.
and finishes.
How did she get that to go, Duncan?
That's the magic man. Now you see me, now you don't.
Kennedy feeds it back to Hops. This hasn't been working for them much tonight, so maybe things will change now, but
I'm not sure what their plan is right now, Austin.
Yeah.
Looks like they're just passing it around up top. Lexington is playing lockdown defense.
Diaz hits from deep, and there is a good answer for Quincy.
They needed a possession like that. Needed. Capital N, needed.
That pass is broken up and stolen away. That's Man. She'll stop, fire from deep,
Oh, not
and
sure
miss.
why you would do that.
Rebounded by Gendron as she kicks it to Diaz. Her turnaround
What
jumper
are they
misses
doing?
everything. It's going to go out of bounds off of Quincy.
Two unworldly shots by Quincy. You have all the time. You have 35 seconds to set something up, and you're going to set up like that when you know the pressure's on, and you're going to take a shot like that.
I'm
Does not make
surprised
sense.
The coach has not called one timeout all game yet. It's been 12 minutes.
Unfathomable. Quincy's going to get the ball back here. Mass subs here. Fortier and Jacob in for Doyle and Ash. I believe it was a travel there, so it's going to go the other way. Quincy has got a chance here. They just need to take their time and set something up.
And the one good thing for Quincy on the offensive end is their offensive rebounding. As you can clearly tell, 30 and 32, they've got such a height difference on Lexington, and they've been able to get offensive rebounds.
Well,
That underhand layup has not worked all night.
They might be getting offensive rebounds. They're not getting points, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
I'm not sure why she keeps going. It always comes up short when she does the underhanded layup. I'm curious as to why that.
You're either going to live by or die by it, Duncan.
100% Toshio.
Maybe it was working for her earlier in the season, and that got her the MVP, but
Yeah.
tonight's different.
Wozniak from deep misses it short, rebounded by Gendron.
Good rebound by Gendron there. Still an 11-point lead. Quincy is not that far out of this one if they can get some offense going, but we have not seen that at all this game.
They go back to Hops, going up against Hamilton. And there is the Alyssa Hops that most people on the Quincy side of this crowd have been used to seeing all year.
Back down to a 9-point lead for the Minutemen. Definitely want to get some offense going.
Wozniak thought about the three. She gives it to Jacob. She now thought about it. She'll look to pass it with 20 to shoot.
Tight defense there. They're going to call a foul.
Did not look like a foul to me, but
No. Obviously didn't have the best view of it, but
Quincy fouls number 15, Frankie Diaz, her first personal foul.
and a timeout.
Timeout, Lexington.
Surprised that Lexington was the one to take the timeout, but nevertheless, a timeout was called. Excuse me, possibly because of the foul situation. There's 2:39 left. They have 3 fouls. Don't want to get into the bonus. Don't want to give any chances for Quincy that they already have. So don't want any trips to the free throw line at this point in the game.
well, Duncan, we're in our first timeout now, and so game plan-wise, how do you think both teams need to adjust what they've been doing offensively and defensively?
Yeah, I'll start. Quincy, the fact this is the first timeout is insane. Lexington has a 9-point lead. They only have 21 points. I'm surprised this is the first timeout for either side. For Quincy, you need to set up more. You need to tell your players to calm down and set up the play more. Set up a game, get some good opportunities, spread out this tight Lexington defense, because the Lexington defense has been on point all night. They haven't really been tested to the level where Quincy's going to get back in this game. For Lexington, keep that defense up, but try and get some more offense going. They've had some good shots that haven't gone in, but there's also been some missed opportunities. If I'm Lexington, if the offense is going to take away from the defense, I would say stay defensive, in my opinion. I think defense is more important than offense at this point in the game.
Fortier will get it in. It's Crinity in the corner, defended by Diaz. 2.5 minutes to play in the first half as Wozniak spins, throws it up and in.
Hey, what do you say? Wozniak on the board.
The spin cycle and the hook shot.
Beautiful, beautiful play.
Hobbs gives Diaz a screen. She's just trying to find anywhere to go with it. And
it's going to go stay with Quincy. It went off Jacob.
Great hustle from both sides, though. You love to see the effort.
I'm not sure what Quincy talked about in the timeout, but it wasn't enough. Whatever they did, they're doing the same stuff they've been doing all half. It's why they only have 12 points for about 14 minutes of play.
Diaz inside, can't finish off the front of the rim.
Hard hit there.
Hamilton comes away with the rebound. 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's an 11-point lead for the Minutemen.
Well, that was a great offensive play there, but just couldn't capitalize.
Crinity, that's a deep 2, and it's no good.
Tough shot there. She was heavily covered.
Ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Lexington.
Quincy again, they're going to want to hop on this. 1:51 left in the half. You want to get all the points that you can. An 11-point lead for the Minutemen at the moment.
This is Kennedy, who past a man was nearly lost. They get it back to Hobbs. Her mid-range jumper does not get the bounce. Rebounded by Wozniak with 90 seconds to play.
Good job by Doyle, hopping off that rebound, noticing that her teammate was also going for it. That's a professional play right there.
Hamilton fires from deep. And
that is a big 3 right there.
Gendron in the paint gets it to go.
That's the first time we've said her name all game.
She had 15 in Quincy's win at Hopkinton, and in addition to 10 rebounds. So they're expecting a big game from her, but right now they're not getting a big game from anybody.
Oh, good steal.
Crinity looks hurt.
Crinity is hurt. She took a shot there.
Diaz on the other end misses. Crinity is staying down. She's grabbing at her hands, and they're going to stop the game as they check on her.
Not sure if she might have broken. Oh, that's a
big loss for Lexington.
Terrible injury right there, and it's just when you catch it at the wrong angle, there's nothing you can do. It's a 1 in a million play, and unfortunately, the odds were stacked against us there. I'm not sure if it's out of its socket or if it's broken or fractured.
You got the athletic trainer, Mr. Heyman.
It might be out of its socket. I mean, that was an immediate pain to the floor.
And normally when you jam your finger, it hurts.
Definitely was not a jam. I think it might be the knuckle might be out of its socket. Oh, terrible.
So Crinity is up, and they'll continue to look at her.
Yeah. She'll definitely sit out.
I imagine they're going to look into a brace for that. It looks like whatever was wrong with it, they popped it back into for the time being. That's a lot of pain. So having that like that is a lot of pain.
So back to the game as they continue to look at Crinity. Faith Kim will come in for her. We have 45 seconds to play in the first half. Hamilton gets it away to Doyle just before a jump ball could have been called.
15 seconds difference, the shot clock and game clock. And
foul maybe?
Now the shot clock gets turned off.
It's 20 whacked, and I could hear it sounded like a hand slap. So I got a foul there. Shot clock, as you mentioned, has disappeared.
That foul was called against Taylor Mann of Quincy. We'll see how long the Minutemen want to hold the ball here. They have all the time left in the half. Jacob thought about the 3. Now Wozniak will take it and hit.
They're looking for a big opportunity. They found it. 29-14 right now. Hops wide open. Oh, good play by Kim.
One last chance for Lexington before the half with
Doyle
5.
with 5. Finds Hamilton at the buzzer. No good. Doyle with the rebound. It doesn't go. So that'll do it for the first half. The Minutemen found their feet offensively in the second quarter. Quincy did not respond. It's a 15-point lead for them as the two teams head into the locker room.
And that's a huge half for the Minutemen, especially towards the end of that half. Obviously, losing Stella Grini, that's something we're going to keep an eye on, how long-term that is. It appears they're looking for a temporary fix at the moment. But 29-14, Quincy has magnitudes to talk about at the half. Magnitudes.
Offensively and defensively, for the most part, their defense has been fine. And it was mostly an offensive problem where they couldn't get things going in Hops, just couldn't get anything in the paint. But now defensively, last few minutes, Lexington just made every single three they shot. And the floodgates have opened, Duncan. Like we've mentioned, the floodgates have opened. The three-point party has begun.
100%.
And if Hamilton made that last three at the end, I don't think the gym could handle this
Would have
energy.
been incredible, Toshio.
So once again, after the first half, Lexington leads it 29-14 over Quincy. Second half begins in about 9 minutes. We will see you then here on LexMedia. I'm Austin Raish, and I'm joined by Duncan Maloney and Toshio Yuki. We're back for the start of the second half between the Lexington Minutemen and the Quincy Presidents here on LexMedia. Right now, the Minutemen lead it by 15. They have more than double Quincy's points. But one of the stories at the end of the first half was the injury to Stella Crinity, who went down with a hand injury or somewhere on her fingers. But she is now back out on the floor after getting some treatment.
She's got tape on her ring and middle finger, keeping it together. We'll see how that impacts her.
Probably one of the main focuses in that locker room. As we get started here for the second half on LexMedia, I'm Austin Raish, and I'm joined by Duncan Maloney and Toshio Yuki. Wozniak gets inside, and right out of the gate, the Minutemen are on the board.
And
awesome start right there.
Absolutely, and she is the first player in this game to crack 10 points, double digits. She's only a sophomore, but she's been huge for Lexington these past couple games down the stretch.
Lexington continuing playing lockdown defense. There they go.
Taylor Mann on the other end gets it to fall.
It's one of the better buckets we've seen out of Quincy today. Maybe a little foreshadowing how this half is going to go for them.
Absolutely, Duncan. That was very efficient, but not even forced at all. They got quick points out of the gate.
Wozniak drives, kicks it to Crinity. Now she'll take it in herself, and she will head to the line.
I believe that will be on Gendron.
Remains to be seen at the moment.
Actually, will be on Frankie Diaz. That'll be his second personal foul.
They're going to say that foul was on the floor and not a shooting foul. Crinity, I think everybody on the court, all 10 players, thought that it was shooting, but the refs disagree.
Good movement right now by Lex. They got to get something moving here, get something going.
Doyle nearly lost it to Diaz. It's Crinity who fires from deep. Too strong there, rebounded by Kennedy.
Still hasn't been her night, only 3 points, which is not what we expected from Crinity, but she's been contributing in other ways for this team.
Diaz fires from deep, comes up short. Rebound fought for, last touch by Lexington.
Quincy's going to hold on to it. Fresh shot clock as well, so 35 seconds. 6:37 left in the third quarter. Not too much time is gone.
It's into Hops, and Quincy really needs her to get going if they want any chance, and she's sticking with the same move that did not work at all for her in the first half, but I'm not sure, guys. I really don't know at this point.
I think she's expecting the defender to jump up on that pump fake.
I will say that one was closer. That one was a little closer. Most of them have been short. That one might have been a little too much, so.
I think that was the most forced one, though, in my opinion. But
Hops goes straight back to it. Nearly got the and one, but she will head to the line, where she has really been struggling. She's 0 for 4 at this point. And her coach, after Quincy's win against Hopkinton last week, her coach made a specific point when they were being interviewed by the Patriot to point out that Hops went 6 for 6 at the line in that game. I don't think she's going to make similar remarks about her free throw shooting in this game, but if now is the time to improve it, this would be it.
And there we go, Austin.
I think now that she's on this side, it's going to be a little easier. Not as much noise.
Plus, she's facing her bench, too, and her student section. That helps.
And she goes 2 for 2.
And nothing but net on those 2 shots, so.
It looks like she's getting into her zone. That's scary for Lexington.
And that's great for Quincy.
It's a 13-point lead for the Minutemen as they throw it around. Nearly stolen by Diaz. Crinity can't hit the 3, but she'll get her own rebound and resets the shot clock. Doyle driving, kicking to Fortier, who thought about the 3. Instead, she'll go in. The wild shot doesn't get the bounce.
Bad. That was a good shot, but it just had a little too much on it, and that's why it had such a bounce inside the rim.
And that's what happens when you drive really quickly and shoot a tough floater like that. It's bound to happen.
Hops thought about the 3. Now she will take it.
Looked like it had a little contact.
Yeah.
Not sure it affected it. It was still a very strong shot.
But great defense there from Fortier. She's been doing that all game, being a pest and just locking down Hops. Only 7 points for Hops this game.
Now on the other end, she gets the floater to fall.
This time she had a similar drive and floater, but had a much softer touch than Fortier.
Long pass, hard passes here from Quincy.
Diaz gets it inside to Hops, who finishes over Hamilton.
They're getting closer and closer. Don't look at the scoreboard now, but they're getting there. 33-20. Check back in a few minutes, see what it's at.
She also just cracked double digits with that too.
Fortier fires and can't hit from deep. Rebound fought for her to go out of bounds. Last touch by Doyle. The crowd can't believe it.
And I like Coach Solly, you know. I feel like in a regular season game when something like that happens, you'd be like, oh, you'd be a little complaining. But in this game, he's moving right along. He's getting the subs going. He's telling them to get back in this game. Be a goldfish, guys. You got to focus up.
Absolutely. You got to worry about what you can control, not about the calls and about the rest. You let them do your job, and you got to focus on the game.
100%. Oh!
Diaz has it poked out by Jacob. Nicely done by her. It's going to stay with Quincy here. 25 seconds on the shot clock. 4:39 on the game clock in the third quarter.
Good job by Jacob. Avoided the foul there as well, so very strong defensively.
It's Hops inside, and she gets two more. She may be beginning to find her rhythm.
She just muscled her way in there using her size to her advantage. She has a game-high 12 points. She has, well, like 5 points.
Stolen by Man. Down on the other end. It goes. And just like that, it's a single-digit game. Timeout.
There we go. We were expecting that, Duncan.
Need the timeout there. Reset the game. Stop the momentum that Quincy has. Love that call by Steve Solly.
And now the balance is now tipping. It was even a few minutes ago. Now it's tipping towards the Quincy side. Yeah. And this is dangerous territory for Lexington. Down, only up 9, 4 minutes in the third quarter.
And Lexington's not playing terribly right now. They've had some pretty good offensive possession. So just going to be calm down. Nothing to worry about. If they're going to be a little more offensive this half, so do we. And so it's just a back and forth, set up more offensively than you have been. And if you do that, you'll succeed. Quincy got a lot of strategizing going on as well as Lexington, despite it not being their timeout. They're going to take advantage. Try and get something going. They need to keep this up. This timeout is probably the worst thing that could happen for them because they were just getting on the roll. This is the first time all game we've seen this. And now with 4:20 left in the third quarter, they trail by only 9. So, but last time they trailed by 9, it didn't feel like they were going to get back into the game. Right now, it feels like they could take the lead in just a few short minutes. I told you to keep an eye on the clock in a few minutes' time, and already Quincy making an impact.
Lexington will move the ball around again. They love to take their time offensively.
They haven't been able to crack the perimeter last few possessions. They've been having to force and settle on the three-point line.
Jacob thought about the three, gets inside and finishes over Hops.
Great play by Jacob.
Great patience there too, Duncan. She got all the defenders. She even got the student section thinking she was going to pop that three.
Oh, yeah.
Diaz throws it to Gendron, defended by Hamilton, and she'll feed it to Hops. Hops thought about the three. Instead, she'll go inside on Fortier. Can't finish. Rebound is put in by Gendron.
Right, that's a height advantage that they haven't really been using today. Only a few times and only a few flashes. That's on full display right there.
Hamilton gets a screen from Knitty. She gets inside and gets the easy 2 points.
And Quincy's going to have to stick up and step up defensively if they want to get out of this 11 to 9 point lead range. Because if they just keep scoring and Lexington keeps scoring, they're going to get nowhere.
Diaz with a good feed to Gendron for 2.
Ooh, that no-look pass.
Wow. And now, this is what I'm talking about. Quincy, if Quincy can't step up defensively here, they're going to have no chance to get back in this game.
We'll see how Lexington uses the pick and roll action. Last 2 possessions, they had a little mini screen.
There was almost another steal there. That's Frankie Diaz who broke it up.
So going back to what I was saying, Lexington had used a few mini screens driving in, and they got a little opening to get a nice sweet scooping layup. So we'll see how Quincy defends that.
It's into Cronity. Her three-pointer is short. Rebounded by Hops. She has
here comes
space.
Cronity with speed.
Hops on Cronity. Can't get it. Rebound is kept alive by Gendron, though. She's going to take it inside herself, and it falls.
Great speed by Cronity to get back And a great rebound by Gendron. Get those points. Quincy's within 7.
Lexington has to do a better job on the defensive end of rebounding. They've letting them get extra points too many times.
Wozniak's wild shot rims out, rebounded by Mann. As Hops is open, as she fakes, drives inside, lays it home, and just like that, it's only a 5-point game. We've got 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
The train is on the tracks, and it's not moving. Quincy is rolling right now. Student section reignited. Here comes Jacob.
What a fake by her, but you can't finish inside.
Great block. I believe that was Hops there, but
now Hamilton's looking to check back in for Lexington, change the momentum.
she's been great from the 3-point line. That would be just what Lexington
She
needed.
is the team high, 11 points too. I'm surprised why she's sitting on the bench. But
Oh, yeah.
They go right back to Hops, and Fortier is going to get whistled for a foul.
in my opinion, that's a pretty smart foul. Just settle things down again, get the crowd dying down.
I'm not sure if she saw that Hamilton was on the bench, but if she did, that also might have been strategic as well in that regard.
Diaz will inbound. It's into Gendron.
Good pass there, leading Gendron.
Diaz steps back, and I think
faked her into the shot.
student section.
Wow. I did not think of that. That is a new trick up their sleeve.
Wow.
I don't know if I've ever seen that work.
I don't know how the
That
coach feels
is
on that.
wild.
Now Quincy's going to try it, but Lexington actually scores.
Unbelievable.
Gendron inside misses.
Tough angle
The
there
student
from
section
Gendron.
might have single-handedly changed the outcome of this game right now.
Crenity thought about the three, and now she loses
good
it.
steal.
Getting a little fancy there.
Mann on the other end goes inside, and she'll go to the line.
Good play by Mann. Almost got the fall. That would have been massive.
Lexington foul on number 1, Lauren Doyle, her first personal foul, team to the third.
Now Faith Kim looking to check back in for Lexington.
Shooting 2 shots for Quincy number 20,
As well as Taylor Wozniak. She's had 10 points tonight.
Going to be 50.2 after this shot left in the third quarter. The lead is still at 7.
So if Lexington can get the rebound here, they can do a 2-for-1 situation, go down the court, quickly try to get some points. Let Quincy.
Oh, good play
She'll
there.
go 1 for
Try to-
2. It's a 6-point game with 50 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Lexington going to try and get something going here. Here comes Hamilton off the
gets
bench.
space and gets it to go over Hops.
Great
8
drive
points
from
here.
the baseline.
Going to be about 2.5. 2.5 between the shot and game clock here.
Diaz is defended by Jacob as she gives it to Hops. Hamilton is on her. Now the three-pointer is no good by Kennedy.
Oh,
Ball's
good
on the
rebound.
ground.
Oh,
Man
good rebound.
throws it. It's on the ground. A jump ball is called. Quincy will keep it with 15 seconds on the clock.
And we were mentioning those offensive rebounds are huge for Quincy, using that size advantage. Lexington's got to do a better job of boxing out, making sure they secure the ball, because this is getting Quincy one more chance to score before that quarter.
Oh,
Hops inside, can't
not
finish
a
over
smart
2
shot
defenders.
there.
And a foul is going to be called here against Quincy.
It might be Hops.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
A
her
little
second
contact with the face. A little bit of a sell from Wozniak as well. All holding the nose and letting go as soon. as
7
the foul's
left.
Called.
Jacob has 5. Inside,
Oh,
it's
good
broken
steal.
up. Hops comes away with it. The prayer is up, and it just skimmed the backboard. So that'll do it for 3 quarters. Quincy is starting to find life. They found really a lot of it, and the Minutemen were able to erase at least some of it, but it's still certainly there. It's just an 8-point game heading into the final 8 minutes.
And Lexington did a good job of maintaining what they have. It's an 8-point lead, but it doesn't feel like an 8-point lead. Before they've had 9, 11-point leads, and it felt much larger than that. Now it's an 8-point lead, and it feels much smaller. 8 minutes left. It's going to be a wild 8 minutes, Austin, if Quincy continues playing how they are.
And going into these last 8 minutes, the experience for both teams is going to show. Lexington is a pretty young team, I would say. They've got some great leadership on, and similar for Quincy, they've been led by the junior duo, Gendron and Hops, but the experience coming down the stretch and the intelligence and the basketball IQ of how they will manage and approach this last 8 minutes will definitely impact the game and the outcome of the game. Well, after a little back and forth between the two student sections, both teams are going to come back out.
It's going to play out.
The final stretch, last 8 minutes. Here we go, Duncan.
Got an added police presence tonight for that reason, Toshio, but 8 minutes left, 8 points between the Minutemen and the Presidents. It's going to be a wild fourth quarter here, Austin.
The Minutemen begin it with possession. They lead by 8. Cronity gets it to Hamilton, and once again the Minutemen moving it around. Here's Wozniak, who can't finish inside.
That was a great cut by Wozniak and a great find. Just couldn't get it to go.
Diaz gets it to Gendron, who had at least 6 points of her own in the quarter, doing what she's done that's gotten them thus far in the playoffs. Hops draws a double team. Underhanded layup missed badly. Offensive rebound is put in.
You can see the difference. If she does the underhand, she gets the rebound. She does the overhand, it goes right in. Doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. 6 points now separate these two teams. It's been like this before, 6 points just a few minutes ago.
Doyle drives and lands at home.
This is back and forth action, Duncan. This is one heck of a game.
Yeah. Lucky to be here right now, Toshio. Lucky to be here.
Diaz gets it inside the Hops. Going to work against Fortier, and it somehow goes.
If I'm Quincy, I'm just passing the ball to Hops and watching. I mean, she has been incredible this second half.
The last 10 minutes, she's had 10 points, and she just ramped up her game.
And it's left short. Rebound taken by Mann.
Chance to get it down here to a 4-point, even a 3-point lead.
No good from Diaz. Rebounded by Cronity. That would have brought it down to a one-possession game.
Brave shot. Don't know if I would have taken that.
Cronity going through 3 defenders. It goes, and the foul.
She's been cold all night, but that was the biggest play she's made so far tonight.
And now a chance to get it back up to a 9-point lead. That's detrimental for Quincy right there. Detrimental.
It's a 9-point lead for the Minutemen with 6:23 to play. Diaz gets it to Hops, who's left open.
Textbook. Do that every single time, and Quincy is going to win this game if they keep doing that. I'm telling you. 7 points now to separate the Presidents and the Minutemen.
Hamilton finds Jacob on the wing. 20 to shoot for Lexington. Hamilton goes to work inside, and it goes.
What a nifty finish from Hamilton with her left hand. 15 points on the night. That is a team high for Hamilton.
Got to get it in the Hops. She's going to work it herself.
Man, going up against Cronity, leaves it short.
Brave shot.
Cronity gets the rebound. It's a 3-on-2 for the Minutemen if they push it. Fortier finds Doyle for three. No good.
A little too strong there.
Diaz with the rebound. Up ahead to Hops. It's there. She's got it. And it doesn't go, but Gendron will finish it off.
Beautiful. Gendron knew her role there. She knew what she had to do. She got in the right position. She made it work. 7 points, 48-41. 5 minutes remaining in this game. Anticipation bubbles in the Ralphie Lord Gymnasium.
Jacob drives inside all alone, but she missed it.
Wide open layup. She's definitely going to want that one back.
A chance to cut the lead down to 5 here.
Diaz inside, and it goes.
She could do it all, Austin. She could do it all. Timeout from Lexington.
Very smart timeout indeed, Duncan. I mean, just as it's a chess match here, and just as Lexington was trying to open the floodgates back up, Quincy comes storming back
Toshio, we've been in this position before. It's been a 5-point lead. It's a close game. Lexington called the timeout, and Lexington gets a bigger lead again. So it's going to be interesting to see what Lexington does to do that again. But I have a feeling it's going to be a little harder to do this time. Quincy is utilizing more options. You just saw Hops throw it down low to someone that wasn't her and let her shoot it. So Hops has been great, but they're starting to utilize other players on the court, and other than Gendron as well. But
And Duncan, you've mentioned Quincy is 7-2 on the road, and they've been
Yeah.
playing like it is their own gymnasium. I mean, the
100%.
student section helps, but they're playing with so much poise and composure. Lexington feels a little tense here. They left off 6 easy points, 3 layups that were blown, and that could have changed the whole flow of the game. But now they are only up 5 with 4:35 left in the game.
100%. Toshio mentioned earlier, Quincy bust in people today. That entire student section on the left-hand side was bust in from Quincy. That's a long drive. They do not want to go home
Imagine the
unheard.
traffic too. That is.
Oh, yeah.
That is respect.
It's
for
rush
them.
hour, Toshio. It was rush hour when they came here. See what Lex can do. They need points here.
4:30 to play in the game. It's a 5-point lead for the Minutemen. And once again, they are sticking to plenty of ball movement. Fortier finds Jacob, who gets it to Wozniak. They're trying to get inside. Jacob has it poked away.
no!
It's stolen.
Oh, my goodness.
This is Diaz, who has it for Quincy. They can bring it down to a 1-possession game here.
Just about halfway through the fourth. We said it was going to be spicy, but we didn't know it was going to be this hot.
Foul on
Foul on
Going to go
Cerniti
against
there.
Cerniti. That was Liliana Catrambone, who just came into the game.
And that's only Lexington's first foul of the entire quarter. And same with Quincy. So if it gets down to the free throw situation, they've got some fouls to spare.
pass
Catrambone
down
works
low.
it inside to Diaz, who brings it out. The mid-range jumper is too strong. Offensive
Oh,
rebound
oh.
is put in, and a late foul is going to be called.
That's
but
Cerniti again. Big
Yeah.
push there. You could tell that was not the shot she wanted to get off at all. She whipped it across the backboard.
Now listen, Jacob, after getting subbed right out, will come back in, and I believe
This is
first
not
substitute.
necessarily 3 points. They have not been great from the line.
Catrambone is not on the board yet.
Oh.
And it's
Oh,
going to stay that way
Not
for
get the
now.
lucky bounce.
Cerniti is going to come out after picking up her 2 fouls within seconds of each other.
I like that by Solly. Cool down. There's still a lot of time left in this game, and you have faith in the players on the floor to still make it work.
Catrambone misses them both.
But-
Rebound is fought for. It'll go out of bounds. Last touch
Wow.
by Quincy. Hops thought otherwise. She let that ball go out. She probably could have gotten there, but I guess she saw it get touched by someone on Lexington.
If you're Hops, I feel like you kind of have to go for. I'm not sure why she didn't. It looked like there was a room where she could get that and not have to like throw it back in. So I'm not sure. I know she thought that Lexington touched it, but
And I mean,
just didn't work out
normally
there.
it does go back to them, but
Yeah.
in these situations, you have to fight for every loose ball, every 50-50 ball you get.
3.5 minutes to play. It's still a 5-point lead for Lexington. Wozniak inside floats it up. No good.
The
Rebound grabbed
game,
by
you know,
Hobbs.
with Gendron and Hops inside, you know Quincy is going to win that rebound game.
Diaz is defended by Jacob as she gets it to Gendron.
They got to start working inside. Lexington doing a great job defensively right
Diaz
now.
gets a good screen from Hops and gets
Oh!
the friendly bounce. Just like that, it's a 1-possession game.
3 points, Austin. Now, if I'm Quincy, I don't want to take a 3-pointer at all. That is way too much risk. The reward is decent, but it's way too much risk. Still need to play strong defensively here.
Doyle gets it to Wozniak. We have less than 3 minutes to go. Hamilton defended by Hops. Gives it right back. 10 to shoot as Gloria Doyle loses it.
Travel.
And
Yep,
a travel is called. Unbelievable.
The foul was after the travel.
Now,
I believe is what I'm sure Lexington's not thrilled, but I believe the foul was after the travel there.
Cerniti just came back into the game and replaced Jacob.
And Lexington not set defensively.
Three-pointer is up and short, but
Wow.
a foul is going to go
Wow.
against Cerniti. Oh my goodness.
just after coming back in, and now they have a chance. Quincy has a chance to tie the game. with 2:37. Wow.
Unbelievable, Toshio. Unbelievable. Now, the lead cannot be gotten here, so that's important for Lex.
This is Taylor Mann at the line.
Wow.
First one goes down. Mann
up.
is up to 6 points on the day.
You know, I mean, the pressure in this gym right now to make that shot, it's impressive. The free throws getting made right now. Any free throw within the next 2:37 is going to be impressive. Oh, wow.
We're going to get a whistle and a timeout taken by Quincy.
Great timeout. Perfect time for the timeout. You don't want to stop the momentum, but at that point, there's not really a ton of momentum. When you make both the free throws, it's a perfect time to stop it. And a 1-point lead, if Lexington makes a shot, you still could be within one possession. So perfect timing for the timeout. Quincy hasn't called a lot of those today, but a great time to call it right there.
You said they haven't gotten a lot of those timeouts today. They actually have not gotten any that they have called.
Yeah.
That is the first one. With 2.5 minutes left to play in the game, that is the first timeout taken all game by Quincy. It shows you really how much confidence they have in their game plan.
Yeah.
And really, there wasn't a lot of it. At least you wouldn't think they'd have a lot of it early on when they were down by double digits for almost the entire first half. But things have panned out in their direction, and it's just up to them to get the job done.
You know what, Austin? I'm going to put my hand up. I'm going to sign the apology sheet. I was criticizing Quincy not taking any of these timeouts. Here we are with 2:37 left, and they're within 1 point. They stayed the course, and they found a way, and I apologize for not believing in them.
And now they control the game. They still have 3 timeouts, so whenever they're in danger, and trapped in the corner or something, they have the power to call a timeout and get their players.
And this is where the student sections are really going to come into play, this noise. You saw how Lexington came into play earlier with the 3-2-1, and then they made her shoot. She does get one more foul. It was from the 3-point line, so she does get one more shot here. If she can make it, be huge.
Oh, it's no good.
Oh, no!
But Gendron comes away with it. And Quincy has taken the lead.
Duncan, what has happened? They were up 8 going into the fourth quarter. Now they're down 1.
You got to get right back into this game. You can't think about that. You just need points.
Fortier finds Crenity for 3. No good. Hamilton with the rebound. She'll bring it out. Fortier drives inside. And it's good.
Great play by Fortier. Get the rebound. Get right back into the play. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Now we're getting to crunch time. 2 minutes left to go.
Man fakes. Drives, gets bumped. No call. No shot. It's on the ground. Fortier keeps it in. 1:50 to go in the fourth. It's a 1-point lead for Lexington.
Lexington slowing it down a little bit here. They got about 17 to shoot and counting on the shot clock.
The calm before the storm.
100%, Toshio.
I know the gym is about to erupt anytime soon.
It's Crenity with 10 to shoot.
So you got to get something up here.
Hamilton defended by Hobbs with 5.
Oh, they're going to call
get a
foul.
Whistle and a foul that's going to go
be on 15.
against.
That's number.
Frankie Diaz, I think.
It is on Diaz.
Frankie Diaz.
Yeah. If that was on Hobbs, that would have been her 4th personal foul.
That would have been huge if that was on Hobbs. You can't take her out at this point in the game, but that would have been huge. And a timeout being called by something being called by Quincy, excuse me.
Hamilton inside misses it. Hobbs with the rebound.
Oh no.
1:20 to go in the fourth.
Quincy needs to slow it down right now. Just as Lexington did the possession before.
And I think they're going to go back to Hobbs this game.
And they're going to call timeout. Quincy, good timeout. 109 left in the game, 23 left in the shot clock. Plenty of time to set something up. Not that much time left in the game.
I agree, Duncan. That was a smart timeout. They didn't really get much things going that possession, but now they can go back to the drawing board and set something up. And I'm going to predict that the ball is going to go to the hands of Alyssa Hobbs. Lexington has not found an answer for her in the second half at all.
No, and she hasn't had a ton of points. And I think one of the biggest things for Hobbs, whenever she misses, especially in close, Gendron is right there to put it back in. And that's been a huge part of why Quincy's back in this game. That's happened at least 3 or 4 times this half, this quarter.
And when Gendron misses too, then Hobbs is right back. They've just used their height.
Yeah.
And it's been paying off down the stretch.
109. Tell you what, the students, they paid a lot of good money for these seats. They are not sitting at all. And 109, 23 left on the shot clock. 1 point separates the Minutemen and the Presidents. 1 point separates a trip to the next round and a trip to the couch and the end of the season.
Quincy will inbound. Diaz, the freshman, will get it in.
With 69 seconds left in the game.
It's into Kennedy.
That's close to the backcourt. It's a little risky.
She's pressured
Close.
hard by Doyle. She's got to get rid of it. And we're going to get a timeout called by Quincy just before.
16
it could get
seconds
worse.
now. That's not a lot of time.
And both teams are now 3 timeouts. I believe each team has 4, right? For the whole 5.
Five
So
timeouts.
2 more timeouts.
You need to use all of them. It's been a pretty quick game to this point, but all the timeouts have been saved for this moment. You don't want to use any. You don't want to use any judgment and like, oh, we're not going to call a timeout here. We're going to let them work it out. Nope. Take a timeout. Don't risk it.
Now
It is not worth it.
Now we're getting to the end of this chess match. Every move has to be strategic and purposeful, and there is no room for error.
1,000% Toshio. When Quincy taking a little longer in this timeout. And here comes everyone standing up now. 103, 63 seconds left in this one. A majority of the gym is on its feet. That'll change quickly.
16 to shoot. It's dangerous pass.
Now Lexington's up in the pressure. They're playing zone. Haven't seen that much.
Kennedy with another dangerous pass to man. In the corner, it's Gendron.
They're
6
running
to
out of
shoot.
time.
Diaz to Kennedy for 3. No good.
They need to get the
It's in
rebound.
the air. Ball's on the ground.
Gendron
Gendron
gets
comes
it.
away with it. And she steps out of
Wow.
bounds. Lexington takes over. 46 seconds on the clock.
Now Lexington, they cannot play to not lose here. They have to stay aggressive, but be cautious. Time is their friend, but 10 seconds differentiates the shot clock and game clock.
Time is diminishing.
They got to score
Hope.
here.
They're running on hope right now, Toshio.
And if you're Quincy, no need a foul unless they get the offensive rebound, but 19 seconds left on the shot clock. This is a huge possession.
If Lexington gets a 3 here, that's the nail in the final coffin.
10 to shoot. It's Doyle at the top of the key. Doyle to Hamilton with 5. Hamilton drives, misses, rebounded by Gendron with 10.
They got to go.
It's up to Diaz.
This is for the game.
Diaz with
She's
5
got
at half
pass.
court.
Is Hobbs going to get the final
Hobbs.
shot?
Hobbs for the win.
Yo! Lexington moves on to the Elite 8. Lexington takes the victory, 50-49. What a last possession, Duncan. That last 30 seconds was unbelievable. What
a
happened?
game. This is what these fans paid and stayed for. 50-49. A trip to the Elite 8 on the line, and they did it.
If that wasn't worth the watch, I'm not sure what was. Oh my goodness, that got everybody in this building on their feet, including the 3 of us. And the crowd expresses their opinion, and so does the Quincy crowd. Enjoy watching the playoffs from your couch, gentlemen.
And you have to applaud. This was one of the greatest basketball games that I have ever seen. Quincy played an unbelievable game, a comeback for the ages, 50-49.
This is a story where you can't be too cocky, you can't be too confident. Lexington let them back into the game after being up double digits going into half. And like you said, Duncan, you have to respect the effort that Quincy brought tonight. They gave it their all. And Quincy Hobbs had 20 points, but that was not enough to defeat this deep Lexington team.
The court storm has ensued. They did a pretty good job of controlling them when the game ended, but oh my goodness, what a game. So once again, final score Lexington 50, Quincy 49. The Minutemen are moving on to the round of 8. They will play the winner of Bishop Feehan versus Taunton. Thank you for joining us tonight on LexMedia. I think we all need to take a breather after that.
We might have an interview with Coach Solly afterwards, but
yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Regardless, the Minutemen win. They are moving on. I'm Austin Raish, and I've been joined by Duncan Maloney and Toshio Yuki. Have a great night.
Yeah. Like Stella, like 2 minutes, okay? 2 minutes? Awesome.
Wasn't my best, but it
Doesn't matter, came through, right?
Great game call.
So hit with the...
Give me 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay?
Yeah, hold on. We got to figure out what we want to do.
Talk about the finger, talk about the game, talk about like breaking through in the second half.
Really just like maintaining Quincy's offense.
Like, so you can start just ask like about the game, or just like oh yeah. Turn it 5. Turn it up 5. 5. Turn it up. Turn it up. So what do you ask me? I'll ask with the finger, and you can ask.
I'll ask.
Good. Right, Stella.
Wait. It's okay. Hold on.
What do we all ask? You ask about like just the game, like how the game felt, the pressure. We'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay.
We can put it around our necks, right?
No, we put up.
Yeah, just put them on your head.
Three questions only.
Hey everybody, we're here with Stella Criniti. So Stella, first off, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
So give us your rundown of that game. I know the second half and the first half were really different from each other.
Yeah.
You lost the lead late in the game, but then in the end you guys found a way to hold on. So just take us through what went down out there tonight.
All right, I think it was just a game of runs, which basketball usually is, but especially that game, like we had a 12-point lead at one point, and then we ended up losing it. I think at halftime we were just telling each other we need to lock in. Like this could be our last game, and it shouldn't be. We were preparing like all week, and it's just been an incredible season. We didn't want it to end tonight, so.
Towards the end of that first half, second quarter, fell to the ground, finger.
Yeah.
What was going through your head there? What happened, and how did you prepare yourself coming back into the second half?
I was definitely like, this is not good, because I usually will get bumps and bruises, but it's fine. I move on, and this one was it hurt a little more than I thought, so I just iced it, and I was like, I have to be there for my team. Even if it hurts, I'm just going to push through and deal with it after the game.
And how were you able to manage the environment in this gym? I know Quincy had their own student section, we had our own student section, and also adding on to that, moving on to next game, the pressure is going to be real in the Elite Eight. So how's your team preparing to try to advance to the Final Four?
I think the home game last week definitely helped us in this. I think home court advantage is a real thing. Like when it comes down to it, Quincy has to face our whole fan section, and it's always big, and we love the support. So I think we just gotta stay together, and we can't let it bother us.
All right, once again, this has been Stella Criniti of the Minutemen. Stella, again, congrats on the win.
You.
Thanks for joining us, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you.
Good luck, Stella.
Good luck.
Thank you so much, Stella.
Did they have another timeout after that? I feel like I thought they had one more. That was. I don't have much stake, but my heart was going, bro. All right, Hamilton was nuts. Hey, let's go. Same thing. Except I'll come to you guys once you're ready.
Stella, same questions.
Okay.
We got to figure out a substitute for the finger question.
I'll figure it out.
You got that? Yeah. Hey everybody, we're here with Riley Hamilton of the Minutemen. So Riley, first off, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you so much.
So give us your rundown of that game. I know that those first two halves, they were very different from each other, and it got competitive towards the end. You guys lost the lead and then got it back, and in the end you were able to hold on. So just take us through what went down out there to make that happen.
I think we came out really strong, and we were doing what we wanted to, and at halftime, we kind of just said let's continue what we're doing, but we need to tighten up our defense. And then coming out of the half, obviously that didn't happen fully. So we had to battle back, almost losing the lead, and I think just the adversity that we faced, we were able to come together and pull out the win, which is great.
Riley, at the end of the second quarter, your captain and teammate Stella Trinity fell to the floor. What were your thoughts in that initial moment, and then at the start of the second half when she came back out and played for the team?
I mean, obviously, I was really worried when she went out. Like, she's one of our, like, a very important player on our team, has a huge role, so I was super worried. But, you know, she reassured us at halftime that, like, she was, like, going to keep playing and fight through it, and so I think that helped us.
And final question here. I know that it's playoffs time and the crowds are going to go more crazy. How was your team able to navigate Quincy's crowd and also our home crowd? And as well as that, how are you guys going to prepare for the next matchup?
Yeah, I think during warm-ups when we saw them all walk in, we had sort of a conversation that, like, we need to tune everything out, and I think having our own student section here obviously definitely helps us, like, pump our energy up also. I think just, you know, focusing on ourselves and not all of the noise around us, I think that'll definitely help us moving on.
All right, once again, this has been Riley Hamilton of the Minutemen. Riley, thanks for joining us, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you so much.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you, Riley.
All right, yeah, that's fine enough. I can hear you. This last time, same thing.
All right, now we're here with Coach Solly of the Minutemen. So, Coach, first off, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So, let's talk about that game for a minute because that second half was very different from the first half.
Yep.
You know, Quincy really seemed to find their feet later on. They ended up taking the lead late in the game, but then in the end you guys were able to get it and keep it until the buzzer sounded. So just take us through what went down out there to make that happen.
It was just one of those crazy games with different shifts in momentum. I felt like all the runs in the first quarter or two were us. You know, they had to answer us. And then the second half, credit them. You know, we were trying to start it hot. They started hot. We tried to use some timeouts to shift that momentum. We were subbing to try and change some energy and give them a lot of credit for scrapping. I felt like every little bounce was kind of going their way, loose ball, pick up, put in. It's tournament basketball, so when you find a way to do that kind of stuff, you're in games. But our girls, if you look at our record, we were in so many close games all year. We only had like maybe 3 blowout wins or losses, so we were in single-digit games all year, and I think pulling from that experience helps us in a game like this. When we know we need one more stop, we can try to get it. When we have to execute an offense one more time, we can do it. We've been doing it all year in our league, so that's the game.
Coach Solly, at the end of the second quarter, you saw your captain, Stella Trinity, fall to the ground, obviously something with the hand.
Yes.
What were your thoughts in that initial moment and then in the locker room going into the second half when she pulled through to play for her team?
So in the moment, I was just trying to make sure it wasn't dislocated or something. It was, in essence, a jammed finger. But very painful because it was like 2 fingers at the same time. But in the locker room, she was fine. She was treating it. She had ice. The trainer said she's going to ice it, tape it, and be ready to go for the third. So it was like a non-issue in the locker room. It was more out here just making sure it wasn't a more serious injury. So good question.
And last question, in a playoff atmosphere like this, I know the crowds can influence the game a lot. Like Quincy had their student section, we had our own student section.
Yeah.
And so how did you navigate the crowds in this game? And also moving forward, what are you going to tell your team to prepare for the next matchup?
Yeah, great question. Well, the crowd, I think this is the benefit of being the 8 seed. You get to be home, and any of the noise we talked about all week, we've been playing music in practice, trying to simulate chaos. It's for us. It's energy, and then we use hand signals for everything, because we know we can't communicate on the court. And then we're going to enjoy this now, and we'll see what happens in the next game tomorrow. And we play the winner of 2 pretty good teams. So we're just happy to be in the Elite 8. That's crazy in this open tournament format. I'm really proud of this team. So we'll see what happens.
So once again, this has been Coach Solly of the Minutemen. Coach, congrats on the win tonight.
Congratulations.
Good luck in the next round.
Yes.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you for all the effort.
We'll be rooting for you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach Solly.
And with that, that's going to end the broadcast for tonight. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't even need to hope, because that was one of the most incredible things I think any of us have ever seen.
Yeah, it was an incredible game. And both their teams, from the moment I walked into this gym, it was electric. You could feel the energy in this game. And 50-49, that's a great score. I was worried in the first half it wasn't going to be as close of a game, but Quincy proved me wrong. And what a great game. What a great finish to the home stretch here in Lexington. And we'll see where they end up next in the tournament,
Duncan.
Elite Eight.
And both teams put everything they had, everything they've been working for all season. And tonight was just an illustration of that. And it was one heck of a game. The energy was unreal, and we've been so grateful we've been able to present this game live at LexMedia.
So once again, the Minutemen are moving on to the Elite Eight. Thank you for joining us tonight, and have a good night.
Is this our last game?
If Bishop Feehan wins, then this will be it.
Are they ever doing like a game at a neutral site, or is that just like
That might be Final Four, I'd imagine, maybe. But if the game's tomorrow, so we'll find out if there's one more home game tomorrow. Good job, boys. Good job. Good job. Good job, boys. It is hot in here. Yeah. That's because of all the food. Yeah, smart man. Smart man. Good work.